Hey, my friends, Derek here from Bomb Socks with a new week of Bomb Bites, where we feast upon the words of Christ, and as always, we do it one bite at a time. So this week's Come Follow Me for the Old Testament covers about chapters 24 up through about 34, give or take, with a few of those in the book of Exodus. And so as we're doing this, I wanted to show you a favorite family game that my family loves to play. It's called Balderdash. I don't know if you're familiar with that one. If you get a chance, play it with your family. It's a lot of fun. So as you can see here, it's got little categories where you have to bluff and you have to make up things like peculiar people. It'll give you a person's name and you got to come up with what that person's famous for, or incredible initials. Those are acronyms. So there's just some fun things. But one of those is called Laughable Laws. And it's kind of funny because it'll say, like, in the state of Utah, it is illegal to ... And then you got to come up with what you think it is, and you got to bluff and see if you can get people to guess yours. So I was looking through this game. Here is some of the laughable laws. So these are on law books, or have been on law books. Like, for example, in California, it is illegal to lick toads. Apparently, some people were licking toads to get high. Unfortunately, some people were being harmed by the toad's poison. Okay, so don't lick toads in California. A few of these others in Chalice, Idaho, it's illegal to walk down the street with another man's wife. Okay, so don't do that. In Utah, all birds have the right of way on highways. A woman in Memphis, Tennessee is not allowed to drive a car unless a man is in front of the car waving a red flag to warn people and other cars. So it's interesting. You see some of these things. Apparently they were put on the law books for a reason, and some of them probably are just silly and they need to be taken off. They were put there. So anyway, kind of funny laws as we're leading up to what is called the Law of Moses. So these chapters here, starting around chapter 21 of Exodus, and it goes through the next few, Moses introduces laws to the children of Israel. Now, he has just introduced to them the 10 Commandments back in chapter 20 and taught them how to be a peculiar people. And so these laws are hopefully helping them to stay focused on what they're supposed to do. Now, let me show you a few of these laws here. Like, for example, like there's some crazy ones here. If you hit your dad, for example, Exodus chapter 21 verse 15 says, "And he that smiteth his father or his mother shall be surely put to death." Verse 17, "If you curse your mom, and he that curseth his father or his mother shall surely be put to death," which puts a new perspective on the original commandment where it says, "Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee." Look, you honor your parents, you'll be able to live for an extended period of time. If you don't, you can die. Some of these, you steal someone's sheep, you barbecue it. It was delicious. You go to Exodus 22 verse 1. "If a man shall steal an ox or a sheep, or kill it, or sell it, or barbecue it, or whatever, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep." So there's restitution that needs to take place, which leads us to about the first 14 or 15 verses of chapter 22. You will see the word restitution mentioned over and over again. You will also see the word restore mentioned. And there's another cool phrase that you can see here. The phrase is "make it good." And so when you put these three things together, you have restitution, restoration, and making things good, which is kind of what you do when you break a law. You try to restore, you try to make restitution. So as I bring this up to you, what are some examples of situations in which it might be difficult to make restitution? And what should a person do in these types of situations? Because there are some things that you are not able to make restitution for, as much as you would like to, and as much as your heart desires to, even as much as the law requires you. There are some things you simply cannot restore. And that's where you get a lot of frustration in life, because you cannot restore things that you have taken. So there's a wonderful talk from President Boyd K. Packer years ago in a talk called The Brilliant Morning of Forgiveness. It's a fantastic talk. But President Packer said, sometimes you cannot give back what you have taken because you don't have it to give. If you have caused others to suffer unbearably, defiled someone's virtue, for example, it is not within your power to give it back. Perhaps the damage was so severe that you cannot fix it, no matter how desperately you want to. Fixing that which you broke and which you cannot fix is the very purpose of the atonement of Jesus Christ. And when your desire is firm and you are willing to pay the uttermost farthing, the law of restitution is suspended and your obligation is transferred to the Lord. He will settle your accounts. What a wonderful blessing it is to be able to have the atonement of Jesus Christ that is able to make restitution for those things that you cannot do. That's the purpose of the Savior. It is a vicarious atonement, doing for others things that they cannot do for themselves. That is why the temple is such a beautiful thing, because it gives people an opportunity to do things for others that they cannot do for themselves. That is restitution. It is restoring. It is making it good. And so I love how even in the midst of all these crazy laws, the Lord shows you, look, when there's a time where you cannot make it right, the Savior is able to make it right as we turn to Him and accept of the atonement of Jesus Christ. And it is amazing. I am grateful for it because it takes care of things that I lack the abilities to do. What a wonderful blessing that is for our lives. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And thanks for sharing these messages. We are so grateful when you do that. Please also go check out our amazingly comfortable gospel themed socks at bombsocks.com. Godspeed, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.